welcome to my tiny home. Okay, so what even is a Goshiwon? So Goshiwons are single housing facilities or accommodations that appeared in Korea in the late 1970s, 1980s to help students prepare for the exams. Actually in the name, so Goshi means exam and won means room. Usually Goshiwons are concentrated near university areas, and students who need to commute or lived in different cities, in order for them to concentrate on an exam only to do well, they will move into a Goshiwon, which is very tiny room that doesn't have a kitchen, doesn't have a bathroom in most cases, but some of them do have bathrooms. And this whole atmosphere was designed so students can just move in, get their mindset ready to prepare for the exam. The atmosphere is all like pressure that students put on them, or the government and the society put on students, to just study non-stop and don't get distracted by other things. Goshiwons were created then, but with time and with housing crisis in Korea, they became common for anyone who wanted a cheap accommodation, because Goshiwons don't require a huge deposit in order to move in. You only have to pay monthly rent, which is what's said. But the way that housing is structured in Korea is that if you want a nice apartment, you do have to put a lot of deposit money. So usually if you want like a very simple one-room apartment in like an old building, like a 5-story building, the deposit will be from 5 million won to 10 million won and higher in the Seoul area, in the central area. But in Goshiwons, you don't need high amounts of deposit in order to move in. You just have to pay monthly rent. So this was definitely a preferred option for students, and with time it became more popular for anyone who wanted a cheap accommodation. And nowadays even a lot of like workers, young workers, live in Goshiwons. I heard that young workers tend to live in Goshiwon to save a lot of money in order to move into a bigger, nicer apartment when they find like a partner to marry and then build a family. So yes, Goshiwons are evolved into this really distinct accommodation type in Korea, and nowadays a lot of Goshiwons tend to name themselves Goshitels, because the name Goshiwon tend to have this negative stigma around it nowadays, because people think, oh, if you live in a Goshiwon, it has like terrible conditions, the rooms are so tiny, and only like poor people live in Goshiwon. That's like the stereotype that people have in Korea. But honestly, when I looked more into Goshiwons, I realized that that's not actually true. Whereas there's still Goshiwons that have like horrible conditions in them. There's more and more Goshiwons that offer really nice accommodations. Goshiwons usually are just tiny rooms that has a desk, a bed, and a wardrobe. Some Goshiwons don't even have wardrobes. They only have like tiny shelves that you can put your clothes in. So they're not designed with a lot of storage in mind. If you have a lot of clothes, if you have a lot of belongings, living in a Goshiwon would be very difficult for you, because they were not designed for long-term stay, I would say that. Not a lot of Goshiwons have bathrooms inside. Mine does, and honestly you have to pay extra for the bathroom, but bathroom wasn't really like a non-negotiable for me. I was looking into Goshiwons that didn't have bathrooms and only had like communal bathrooms, and they were much cheaper. And I thought, well, it's not a big deal. I already lived in a dormitory with a communal bathroom, so I was like, that would be fine. But I talked to the manager to the Goshiwon, and they didn't have the room that I wanted. So in the end, I chose this one that has a bathroom inside. It's right there. And not a lot of Goshiwons have a window inside your room. So for a window, you have to pay extra as well. And when I say extra, it's usually like $100 more to pay for a window. So a window was definitely a non-negotiable for me, because I feel like I'm fine living in a tiny space as long as it has a window on the outside. Rooms without a window are very common, and they're much cheaper. And also there are types of rooms that have windows that goes inside and not outside. So what I mean by that is that there's an outside window. It's like a typical window that when you open, it's the outside a street. But inside windows is that these windows go inside a corridor, inside the building of your building. So because Goshiwons are very small accommodations, and when they built them, they just built a lot of tiny rooms in the building. So obviously not all rooms would have access to outside windows. Rooms that will face the outside structure would have outside windows, but there are also rooms that were built inside, and those have windows that go outside in the corridor of your building. So this is definitely a really weird concept for me to grasp. I definitely did not want that. But there's a lot of people who live in Goshiwons in rooms that have outside windows or that have no windows at all, and they seem fine. But I know that I probably will go insane if I don't have a window to the outside. All the other facilities in Goshiwon are your shared facilities. So you don't have a kitchen inside your tiny room, you have a communal kitchen. And most Goshiwons provide all the necessary necessities. So the microwave and induction, you to cook. They provide you cutlery, they provide you everything that you want to cook with, so you don't even have to buy like a skillet or pot. Like they provide you with all. It's all communal. They have water purifiers, they have free laundry machines and free dryers, free dryer stacks to dry your clothes with, which was nice because when I was living in the dormitory, I had to pay to use the dryer. And Goshiwons also provide free laundry detergent, so you don't even have to buy that, which is also a nice thing because, again, in the dormitory, you had to buy your laundry detergent and you had to pay every time you use the machine. So the cost definitely like stacks up over time. A lot of Goshiwons even provide free food. So you have to check specifically to each Goshiwon because it's not like universal, but some Goshiwons tend to provide a lot more food than others. Like it tend to provide free rice, free kimchi in the refrigerator, free spices, free coffee, free tea. Some Goshiwons even provide free eggs. You definitely have to look for those. But I noticed that more modern Goshiwons that call themselves goshitens, they don't tend to provide a lot of food. Searched for older Goshiwons that are like the typical Goshiwon style, they do tend to provide a lot more food. Another thing that is very nice in Goshiwons is that you don't have to pay for your utility bills. So you don't have to pay for water bill, for Wi-Fi, for electricity bill. It's all included in your monthly rent. So if you sign a contract to pay like monthly rent of 400,000 won, you have to pay only this amount during like every month, and all the utility bills are included. But you also have to really search it up and make sure that it's all included, but usually it is included. Once you have air conditioners inside each room. For example, I have an air conditioner. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like over there. But some rooms tend to not have air conditioners inside, and they do like central heating and central like air conditioning. I also saw a lot of videos that nowadays even tourists or travelers tend to stay in Goshiwons rather than like Airbnbs or hotel rooms because it gets much more cheaper. And if you need like an accommodation for like a month, if you're staying in Korea for a month, Goshiwon is definitely a very cheap option to consider because Goshiwons tend to be very flexible in renting their rooms. They can even rent for like 2 weeks or a month. Again, if you're staying for long term, getting a Goshiwon for a month will be much cheaper than getting in a hotel or Airbnb. And even though the rooms are small, when you're traveling, you don't just tend to stay in your room like all day. So I feel like it's definitely fine. And yes, like travelers tend to not know about Goshiwons, but if you are on a budget traveling to Korea, this is definitely like a viable option to consider. Another good thing is that Goshiwons tend to be around university areas because they were firstly designed for students to study in and stay in. Convenient because you don't have to commute to your university. Mine is very close to Ihwa. I specifically chose the one that is close to Ihwa so I can walk on foot to school because that saves a lot on transportation cost as well. Now that we covered all the positive sides of living in a Goshiwon, now let me tell you about the negative sides living in a Goshiwon that you have to consider. First, really negative side of living in a Goshiwon is definitely the size of the rooms. So the rooms are really, really tiny. Korea is a very small country and the size of the apartments are small. My mom, when she came visit me and helped me move into this room, she was very like, oh, this room is so tiny, like you can go crazy in here. And while that can be true for some people, like if you're very extroverted or if you don't like staying trapped or you are claustrophobic person, this definitely can be an issue for you. But for me, it's not really that much of an issue. And this room, the size of it is similar to my dorm room, so definitely not an issue for me. But if it is for you, I would definitely reconsider. So the bathroom aspect of it all. Yes, Goshiwons have rooms with communal bathrooms, which are much cheaper, but usually the bathroom is literally inside of your room. If you not know about Goshiwons or you're not used to like living in Korea, this definitely can come as a shock. But honestly, because I'm living in Korea for such a long time, it's not like a weird or strange thing for me. It's just what you have to deal with when you live in a very densely populated city like Seoul. You have to really be concerned about humidity issues like mold. Weather in Korea is very humid, especially in the summer months. And if you shower inside your room, you have to really make sure that your room has a good ventilation system. Like in the bathroom, they have to have ventilation. And that's why you have to have a window to air your room out. Again, windows are a luxury in Goshiwons, and you have to pay extra for windows. Rooms without windows and without bathrooms can be really, really cheap. That room, you definitely can like lose your mind a little bit being in that room, and definitely it's not ideal for long-term accommodations. So if you're staying for like one day, it's probably fine, but another thing that you have to consider is that Goshiwons tend to have bad soundproofing, so you can hear if the person next to you being very loud. I know a lot of international students and other foreigners that are living in Korea, they tend to find Goshiwons on the website called Goshi Pages, and I went to that website and searched it out, and it's a decent platform to search for Goshiwons, but I'm gonna tell you that the information that they have on there is pretty outdated, and you don't tend to dive really deep into actually bits and bits about the Goshiwon that you're searching for. So if you don't know Korean and it's very hard for you to navigate Korean websites and Korean apps, Goshi Pages is a good option, but know that the information on there can be a little bit outdated, and they don't have all the Goshiwons that are in Korea. So app that I used is called Kobang, and I don't remember how I stumbled upon this app. It's been on my phone for a while now, even before I started like my university. I just saw an ad for it on Instagram, I think, and I downloaded it, and a lot of Koreans use this app, and a lot of Goshiwons post themselves on this app. And it's not the app just for Goshiwons. You can find other accommodations on there, like share houses, hasukchips, apartments, one-room apartments, that you can find anything on there. Went on this app, and I like how thorough it is. You can even see all the information about the type of wall material, like what walls are made of in our Goshiwon. Register on Kobang if you're comfortable with your Korean and search on Goshiwons on there. And you can also always double check if you like settle on a Goshiwon, go on Naver apps and search it there, because they also have information and they have reviews and they have more pictures. And you can also see the location of the Goshiwon, how much on foot or by bus you have to go to your school, and you can always see what's the area that your Goshiwon is located in, because if you're studying like Ihwa or Yonsei, this neighborhood is very like central in Seoul. They have a lot of things going around here, so it's very noisy at night. And honestly, it's not that bad, but my Goshiwon is definitely located in an area where there's a lot of like 술chips and a lot of drunk people and a lot of loud people at night. But it's not that bad because my window goes like the back of the building, so I don't hear a lot of people. But definitely like click on Naver apps and see what's around your Goshiwon. Before I start my room tour, let me just tell you guys, I'm not going to disclose the name of my Goshiwon that I'm staying in, just for like safety reasons. I'm showing you my room because it looks like every other stable like room in a Goshiwon that you can find. I'm sorry for not telling you the name, but honestly, if you're searching for Goshiwons, they're all pretty much similar. The price of my Goshiwon. I paid the deposit, so yes, modern style Goshiwons tend to have deposits, but they're not that high. My deposit was 200,000 won. I also put a cleaning fee, which is 30,000 won. So when I move out, they have to clean the room. That's the cleaning fee. And my monthly rent is 500,000 won, which is definitely higher than I wanted. I really wanted something cheaper, but even nowadays, Goshiwons tend to be pretty expensive. And I knew that I really wanted a place where I can stay sane and not go crazy. Honestly, I had a time crunch. Like I've said, I started to look for Goshiwons a week before I had to move out of my dormitory. So a lot of Goshiwons were booked, fully booked. And if you're living in a densely populated area in Seoul, a lot of good Goshiwons are already like taken or reserved. People put the reservation like very far in advance. So don't postpone this search for accommodation, because especially in Seoul, all the good rooms are probably taken. So you have to like really search for them. And honestly, this was like the best option that was left for me. And I was like, you know what? Might as well just get this one. But I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm pretty okay with my choice. So yes, I think I covered any information. If you have any more questions, like leave them in the comments, and if I can answer, I will. So now let's get to the room tour. So this is what you see when you walk in. This is my front door. It has a door pad. Like always, you can lock your door here. You can also put the chain around here. So I feel pretty safe living in here. So guys, like I've said, not all Goshiwons even have wardrobes. And I was really looking for a room with a wardrobe because I have quite a lot of clothes and I needed a wardrobe and a shelf. Realistically, that would be the best choice. It has two shelves, so one like a shelf closet and one just like a regular shelf. So I thought I'll make this work. Guys, I literally moved like 2 days ago, so it's not completely done. I still have to order some more storage like shelves here. But this is basically it. This is the closet shelf, and this is just a regular shelf that you can put your things in. And I have quite a lot of clothes because it's winter. Usually like I don't wear that many, but these are all like hoodies and jackets. Also, a lot of Goshiwons come with hangers. This one only had like these like 5 or 6 hangers, and these are all mine that I bought at Daiso when I moved to the dormitory. I bought these storage containers from Daiso and I put a lot of clothes here. I also need to buy like a shelf to put here so I can put all my socks like in underwear. And I also have my shoes over there. So we basically have a shoe closet outside in the corridor, but if you have additional shoes you can put them here. When you go on the left, here we have a desk. Let me show you. This is how the desk look like. I really liked these shelves. I put a lot of like toiletries, toilet paper, everything inside. They're pretty big, as you can see. So you definitely can store a lot of things in there. This is Capybara, by the way. It's my pencil case. Look at her. I braided her hair and put a lot of clips in it. This is where I keep other things like my food. Yeah. Now this desk, I really love this desk because it's very long. You have a lot more space to work with, and the most important part, guys, I have a refrigerator in my room. It's a mini refrigerator, but it's pretty spacious. I have my knife in here. I don't have a lot of food actually. Some sauces, my favorite samjang that I love eating like cucumbers and tomatoes with it. This is the book that I'm reading right now. It's very interesting. It's about Korean history. So yeah. Now that I'm living in the Goshiwon, I kind of understand why it was designed for students to study for their exams, because the atmosphere does pressure you into studying more and just focus on your future and your goals. Because as soon as I moved in here, it was this conflicting feeling of I like this place, but at the same time it motivates me to do better and to work harder in order to move out of here, if you know what I'm saying. So I think it definitely can bring you a lot of motivation to study harder and work harder in order to get somewhere better. Here we have a chair that also was in this Goshiwon. It's a pretty like simple plastic chair. This is all mine, by the way, my pad, and it can fold. I'm pretty sure you can fold it. So the chair and my suitcase sadly didn't fit under the bed, so I just put it here. It's not that bad because again there's a lot of space over there. I really love this desk. Honestly, I used to have really small desks in my other home and in the dormitory, so having this much space, this is my favorite thing. This is what the bed looks like. The bed is actually pretty nice because my landlord, she bought an additional like a mattress pad here, and it's pretty soft. First night sleeping in here, I was fine. My back didn't hurt at all. So yes, this is the bed. I have a lot of things piled up under my bed. Definitely a nice idea to have a bed that you can put additional stuff under your bed, because some Goshiwons tend to have just only a mattress. That's a no-no. Air conditioner and my window. Some blinds here. If I want to put it down, I can put it down. Now, this one was not here. This is, I ordered from Coupang because as you can see to the bathroom, and I didn't like that. So I put some hooks on the metal part right here, and I ordered a curtain, and yeah, I put it here to sort of separate the bed area to the rest of the room. Let me show you the most interesting part, the bathroom. The doors to the bathroom, they are transparent, so you can see inside, which is fine because you live alone. Like, who are you going to invite here? Probably no one. And the doors are sliding doors like this. This part is not transparent, but this part is. That's why I bought the curtain. And this is a shower curtain that I brought from Daiso. Okay. Here is what my bathroom looks like. It's pretty tiny. It doesn't look that bad. Trust me, guys, there were some Goshiwons that I saw that looked horrible. My Hello Kitty slippers. You walk in, so the bathroom is elevated, as you can see here. And I saw some Goshiwons that had bathroom inside, but the bathroom like stall didn't go all the way up to the ceiling. So this one, if you close the door, it's completely separated. That you don't hear, you don't smell anything, because it's all from ceiling to the floor, from the bottom to the very top. But I saw some Goshiwons, some rooms that they had where the bathroom is like, the door is not all the way up to the floor. It's like all the way up here. So when they shower, all the steam will just like permeate the room, which is so like, just guys, pay attention on how the bathroom is structured. Bought this curtain rod from Daiso as well. When you close the door, the water actually doesn't splash on the outside room, but still I was very worried about water splashing out, so I bought the curtain. The sink is tiny as well, but it's enough for me, so it's fine. This is the basket that I had from my dormitory that I just bought here. I could have just bought something from Daiso, like a little shelf, and like suction it here, but honestly, I'm not gonna be here for that long, and if I don't need it, why buy it? This is the toilet. I bought these things at Daiso, which are so nice because I don't like putting up my toilet seat by touching it. That's why I bought this thing, so you can like pull it up like this. And the same thing goes here. When you wash your toilet, you can just pull the bottom seat like this. It's so nice. Toilet paper holder I also bought from Daiso. They didn't have one here, which is so weird, like not having a toilet paper holder, so weird. And I also bought this from Daiso, a towel holder. This is a hand towel. It also had like little hooks here that you can put other stuff in, and this thing was here already, and I put some of my hooks and all the like cleaning supplies and my gloves and my loofah. The bathroom is pretty tiny, but you don't need much in here, and it also has a ventilation system. Of course, when you turn on the light, the ventilation system goes out and it dries out the bathroom, which is pretty nice. This is what my bathroom looks like. Okay, so this is basically it. I don't have a lot in my room, but what I have is enough. Again, I don't think I will show you the communal facilities because, again, I don't want people to know where I'm actually staying, and I feel like if I show you communal facilities, it'll be very easy to identify which Goshiwon it is. But it's all pretty standard to all other Goshiwons. They're like kitchenette, there are laundry rooms, and it's all free to use, which is another nice thing from my dormitory. And honestly, I would say it's not that bad if you actually do your research and find a room that will work for you. Definitely know what your non-negotiables are. Like for me, it was a window. Bathroom was like, I can probably live with like a communal bathroom, but having your own private bathroom is pretty nice. And definitely I don't feel depressed here as of yet. Especially when the school year starts, I will be out and about most of the days, and I also have a part-time job on the weekend, so there's not gonna be like days where I'll be just stuck here doing nothing. So definitely is a very motivating place to live in, because again, you feel motivated to work hard and study hard in order to move out of here. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and if you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't have a dormitory or you don't have any other housing option available in Korea, you know that you always have Goshiwon. Thank you for watching and hope you like this video. Bye.